All right, folks, just wanted to touch bases on a couple of things that you might encounter on your quiz tomorrow. This is all for practice. You do not have to do this, but I highly recommend that you do. And also, after you do it, I highly recommend that you hop into our Zoom meeting at the end of the day to ask any questions. Now, how should you use this video to help you study? All of these answers are going to be attached to this document, this material document. There's not going to be anything to turn in, so it's just going to be material. There's going to be a video for you to watch, which you're currently watching, and there's going to be answers. I recommend you do one question at a time, and then you go back and check the answer. If you mess up, go back and watch one of the previous videos that I showed you, okay? Before I get into the practice, there's a few things that I do want to quickly discuss. The first is, on your test, you are going to see this. 65. Oh, can't see anything with that. That marker is done for. Let's get 65 times 10 to the fourth power. So you're going to see this symbol here. It's called a caret symbol. And what that means is the same thing as going 10 to the fourth power. So I'm going to use both of them here just so you can practice, because you're going to see that tomorrow, because it's easier than typing out something to the power of this, right? And I'm pretty sure it was on our quiz last week, but this time there won't be that explanation as well. So make sure that you are aware of that. So I'm going to try a problem, and when I write this problem, pause. Try it on your own, and then play the video. The moment you realize that there's something wrong, then you need to go back and rewatch the previous video, come back and try it again. Use this as a learning tool, and don't just watch it just for the sake of saying, I watched it. So if we have 605 and we multiply by 10 to the 0 power, what is that going to give us? Okay, so I'm assuming that you pause the video. And so 65 times 10 to the 0 power, 10 to the 0 power is the same as 1. So whenever we see 10 to the 0 power, our answer, whatever here, 605, or whatever it's multiplying by. Could be flipped, doesn't really matter. Okay, what about 10 to the second power times 24? This might throw you for a loop. Don't let it throw you for a loop. Nothing changes. Thanks to the commutative property of multiplication, it doesn't matter if the 10 squared is here or here, it still works out the same way. So we're still going to do the exact same thing. Write our number and add our zeros. Okay, so I hope you paused it and then came back to it. I'm going pretty quickly because I'm assuming that we're all pausing when we need to pause. And rewinding, that's another thing. If I say something and explain something and it doesn't make sense, don't just keep going, please. Stop, go back. Stop, go back. If you have to do it 100 times, you can, because it's a video, right? It's YouTube. No one's going to get tired. No one's going to say you did that too much, right? You have unlimited time to go back and forth as much as you need to. So how about a problem that looks like this? 702 times 1,000. Now, again, we haven't gone over how to multiply this yet, but we don't really have to, because this 1,000 is the same thing as 10 to the third power. And the same way we used our exponent to kind of be a signpost to tell us how many zeros to add, we can just use the zeros themselves. There's 3 zeros here. We're just going to take those and add them on this side. Okay, so that's for 3-1, what you're going to be faced with and what you're going to be seeing. And for 4-1, it's basically the same thing, but we're throwing in decimals. 10 to the third power. So rewrite that number and then move your decimal along 3 times. 1, 2, 3. There's an empty cradle. Put a baby in it. Then rewrite it. 3,620. Very, very simple. And if you don't see the exponent there and you see a decimal, let's see, you have a 0.7 times 0.01. We're going to look at these zeros here. Okay, so I know I said earlier in the week, I made a mistake when I said if you don't see an exponent, it's automatically to the left. If you see a 0 in front of the decimal place, it's to the left. And repeat that again. If you see a 0 in front of the decimal place, you're going to move to the left. So make sure that that you're careful of that because you're going to see stuff that's like 25 or 2 times 100, right? There's no decimal here, so you're going to move to the right. Okay, so that's the mistake that I made, but I'm telling you now in the video, if you didn't understand it, go back, watch it again. If you still don't understand it, go back, watch it again. And then 110 to 145, I'm in small group. Come in and talk to me. So I didn't understand it or I didn't know about it, it's not going to be an excuse. If you don't know about it, it means we didn't watch the video. If you don't understand, it means we didn't watch the video. Plus, we didn't come in and get help afterwards. So make sure we do that. So back to the problem. We have 7/10 here multiplied by 100ths. Same thing. Let's go here, 0.7. And we're going to move our decimal place over 2 times. 1, 2. We have an open cradle. We're going to put it there, and we're going to put our decimal. Rewrite the number, 007. This was not done intentionally, but I'm going to take it. If you don't know who 007 is, ask your family about Bond, James Bond. All right, so tomorrow's quiz is going to be pretty easy if you've been preparing all week. If you waited until Thursday to get any work done, you're probably going to have some trouble. So I hope that you have been focused and getting your work in. So again, I hope you're pausing before every problem I do. 1 and 2/10 our exponent's 3. Actually, let me put a caret symbol here. Now we can get used to seeing that too. Let's move over. 1, 2, 3. We got 2 empty cradles. Our answer, 1200. I'm going to do one more with the caret symbol so we can just get used to seeing that visually. 5.4 times 10 to the power of 2. Rewrite our number, move our decimal over once, twice, put a baby there, 540. And that's it. So I'm going to write down the questions that you can use to practice. To get additional practice, I will put an answer sheet onto Google Classroom for you as well, so that you can double check your answers again. Try the problem, then go back and look at the answer. Do not have the answer there waiting for you. Don't wait for your parents to get home from work to try it. If you do that, if they don't understand what to do, they can't help you. And I'm going home at 3 o'clock. And I'm turning off the Zoom no later than 2. Unless I have a whole bunch of people who are in there for practice, then we'll keep going. So make sure that you come into that Zoom meeting at 1:10 if you need help. If you do not come in there, there is no excuse because that time is literally reserved for me to help you. If you're not there, I'm doing this. I'm twiddling my thumbs. Well, not actually, but you know what I mean. So come on in. So your first problem is going to be 10 to the second power times 37. Your second question is 10. I'm going to write this with a caret symbol to the third power times 42. Still the exact same thing. This caret symbol means to the power of, risen to the power of 3. Just writing it so you can get used to seeing it visually. The next question is 6 and 3800ths times 10 to the third power. Your fourth question is 2800ths times 100th. And then our last problem for practice is going to be 36 times 1000. Okay, so good luck with these. Like I said, these 5 questions, their answers will be on our Google Classroom. So they're there for you to look at and to get that support. I'm here to help you and support you, but you have to reach out. You reach out, I'm going to give you a hand, and we're going to pull you up so you can reach that level of greatness you're striving for. All right, folks, good luck. I'm expecting to see some awesome scores on your quiz tomorrow.